Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gray Man Prepping. It is time for Tactical Tuesday. We talk tactics, gear, and more. Tonight's a little bit about tactics because tonight's topic is knowledge is power. What is in your library? And how's everybody doing out there? And okay. When I wear a white shirt, I really get some artifact in here no matter how much light I have going on here. Let's see if I can fix that for a second so you're not distracting there. Then I'll say hi to everybody. Let's see here. Oh, wrong way. Too much the wrong way that way. See if I can find this just the right even amount here. It's going to go one way or the other. That's what I get for wearing a white shirt today. Okay. I even opened up the extra window, got extra lights on. It should be working, but it's not. All right, so let's say hi to everybody. So go up here to comments and up to the top. First one in was Crew 1351. And they said the Boy Scout Handbook and the Boy Scout Field Manual. And let's see, Ferocious came in next. Having a library, I think, preserving all those important books, not just survival and building skills, also classic literature, even popular fiction and history. Then Diana came in. And after, let's see, Diana, CR came in next. Everyone's chatting here. That's why I'm scrolling down trying to see who's coming in next. Kaylin Strain came in. Geeky Gardens. Making sure I'm not missing any comments that need to be added to it here. And then Tammy Harder, Little Known Prepper came in. And that's those ones making comments. And we have a bunch of lurkers. Lurking is fine, folks. If you can, hit the thumbs up and possibly, make a quick comment. Lurking, listening, whatever. All right, so it's been a little over 2 years since the last time we addressed this topic. Glasses straight here, my hat straight. And since in the last 2 years when we talked about it, has anybody added specific books to their library? And so I've added a few. They're in the other room in there. Some of the books I added were some of the hang on, I know I missed something in there. A second. I know I saw someone send in because that's what I was going to mention here. Gotta find where they said it. There it is. The crew said MD just arrived and said beginner reader books like Dr. Seuss. Yeah. I've added more Dr. Seuss for the grandkids and a couple other reading, easy reading ones for the beginning. My new book find is Video Fodder. Just thought about this book. Yeah. Okay. So, froze. The library here behind me has a bunch of reference ones like encyclopedias across the bottom there and some other ones. But let's look at what we got here. and go down to, actually I didn't read what some of these books were up here on this one here. Got a series of books called Half up there. We got The Crusades, a Wicked series, mostly entertainment. Oh, yeah, a bunch down here. That looks like a bunch of series books down across there in paperback. That's the thing, paperback and hardback are both essential to have. I don't see my other favorite fiction there. But let's go on here. Once again, I'm going to start off with medical. I'm going to talk about skills. First aid is the first skill I think everyone should learn. And perfect timing, okay. Let me defer back to comments here quick here, folks. Okay, got some good ones here. Training book full of practice tests and answers. What else we got here? Wow, the numbers are things just flying in here. Excellent. Found a freebie set, freebie box. Yard sale. Okay. Excellent. When it comes to medical books, let me glance over. I got 1, 2, 3. I got 3 big ones on the shelves over here from Doc Bones and Nurse Amy, and I got several other on all my Kindles. So I have those accessible there. So I was asking Tammy to share the on site. So let me make sure Tammy does have a blue wrench, and Tammy can post links for that. Let's see. So after medical, probably in a major disaster situation or SHTF, or even going into a Tawaki situation, electrical is going to be one of the things that people are going to wish they knew how to do, to be able to use. They may not have ever had any solar panels, but if they wind up scrounging some up and stuff, they're going to want to know how to do electricity to get solar panels set up and using. Yeah, Shady Hill Homestead just came in. So yeah, electrical how-to books, some simple ones, and then more advanced ones as you go in and to connect, to work for AC to DC. So you know about transformers, rectifiers, all different, resistors and stuff for both AC and DC. What do we got here? Mm-hmm. Kaylin says, got one in English and one in Spanish. That's actually really good thinking there, Tammy, because there's probably going to be some neighbors or so that are good people that read Spanish better than they read English, and they're willing to help out. So if they have something that you can teach them with there, that would probably be a good And I froze again. All right. After electrical how-to, the next couple here, actually I got it out of order. It was small engine repair. Because even small engine repair, like small engines that are on most generators, is something you want to be able to fix. You know, because someone's going to do something stupid and they're going to damage their engine for their generator. They have fuel, whether it's propane or gasoline for the generator, but they don't know how to fix it. And if you know how to fix it, that's a good thing to do there. Be able to do there. I'm going to skip the one and go down to the other, big engine repair and modification. If someone happens to have a good supply of gas or diesel, and specifically diesel where they got all this crap on it that makes it have to run with the diesel exhaust fluid, and they're out of diesel exhaust fluid. If you know how to work on a big engine and rip out all the friggin' electronics and take it back to simple stuff, both diesel and gasoline engines, yeah, people are going to be very happy to pay for your services to get their their electric guided engine that has more computers on enough to you can rip everything out and make it work old school. And now they have at least a vehicle to drive around. They're going to be very thankful to you. Little and Pepper says, pick up extra Bibles too. Yeah, got to give people a sense of morality. I did find a backpacking type guide. Does have first section 50 years old now. Yeah. There are a lot of old books that are being scanned. Basically what they do is they buy an old book, they cut off the binding, and they feed it through a scanner, and so the AI can scan it and put it into its memory banks, whatever, so they can then alter it and put it back out in an electronic form, changing science, history, and truth. Let's see. But yeah, the old one. So just old books in particular have a certain feel about them and a certain smell that my Kindle doesn't have. And sometimes it's just easy to feel. You get a paperback book, you curl it up, you open, you kind of bend it back, and you read the pages there, and you just kind of, it's just a different feel. And swipe, read, swipe, read, swipe, read, swipe. Trying to find small light pamphlets. Excellent. All right, back up. Stills and beverages. You never can tell when knowing how to build a still to make different types of beverages is going to come in handy. What we got here? Diana says, yes, my favorite is Thrift Bookstore and Abe Books. I've also bought from World of Books and Better World Books without any issues. Excellent. Excellent one. Have a handful of old field guides about mammals and stuff. I actually picked up the original Boy Scout manual by Lord Baden-Powell that his family group over there in England had gone, and it's an authorized electronic version where they took the old and turned it in, and scanned it into PDF and put it into a Kindle book that you can pick up on Amazon. I got that one, and I got one of the original Scout field manuals that they had from back then. Very interesting reading on those. All right. Yeah, because with stills you can distill water. You can also make medical alcohol, as well as other stuff. You can also brew beverages like mead, which comes from honey. But anyways, yeah, so that's something else to have there. Books on that, and everything goes with it. I believe the original Girl Scout books had a lot of stuff that was similar to the Boy Scout books until they started changing their program around years ago. Yeah. Let's see here. What do we got here? They have different. Little Lone Prepper says they have different foldable laminated guides. Tractor Supply, Amazon. Yeah, and depending on what you want, check for the local Boy Scout Boy Scout office. They have I forget what it's called. It's basically a supply shop, a scout shop where you can buy stuff, and they got a boatload of laminated stuff in there. Because they want scouts to learn everything, tying knots, identifying poisonous plants like poison oak and stuff like that. They got all sorts of cool ones like that. They even got ones on for using a compass and finding your way in day and night. With or without a compass. So there's some good ones in there. 4-H manuals. Yes. Nope. Old paper maps. Also, USGS topographical maps. You can order them online, and you can get soft copies, or you can get hard copies. Be able to to actually put up on the wall and figure out where's your ways out and stuff. I should have saved my Girl Scout book. Excellent. And what else we got down here? I keep very basic guides for my pew-pews found at gun shows and Cabela's. Yes. That was something I didn't put in there. I'm going to call it a machinist handbook, which can also be used for pew-pews for maintaining and repairing. State glaziers are good. Also got the Iowa one last year. Excellent, Kaylin. So that's when you added to it since we last talked about it 2 years ago. All right. Next book on the list here to consider, animal husbandry. In other words, how to raise animals, how to deal with illnesses for animals, whether it's chickens, goats, horses, cows, sheep, whatever, turkeys, whatever. You learn how to take care of them, keep them healthy, and help them get well when they get sick. Now, the one that follows along after that is the animal processing books, of which I have several paperback and several Kindle versions. I'm not sure if it was after the last time we did it or just before it. I got a couple, two big blue ones that are off of Amazon, which are really good with their color photographs on actually how to process certain. Well, one is for large animals like cows. The other one talks about goats, sheep, pigs, and like that. So, yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Speaking about Depression era, that takes us to the last one. Come on, there we go. The last one on the book here is gasifiers. There have been people that have been finding the old archives, FEMA's archives, where they had all the PDFs of all the books on gasifiers from the 19 actually 19 teens during World War One, and those were reprinted and redone for during the Great Depression and into World War II, where people couldn't afford gasoline, the farmers, but they needed to, keep their equipment moving, so they had their old farm tractors running with gasifiers on them to go. Especially the ones with detailed pictures or diagrams. Yes. The Encyclopedia of Country Living is a great book to have on the shelf for a variety of topics. Okay. Thank you, Tammy. Yeah. So, so you can, I've showed it before where you can download the workbooks for the merit badges, and you can go to you can search Google Docs, and you can find where people have uploaded PDFs of the merit badges. Some of them which are no longer merit badges, which were dropped, such as tailoring, and some of the new the newer ones. But yeah, they're all there's probably about 500 copies of the first aid merit badge book that every troop has uploaded for their scouts to access and use. But yeah, there's all the books there. OT counts, in my opinion, especially when there's no more GPS. OT, you mean orienteering training? Yes, I agree. If whatever happens, GPS don't work, yeah, you're going to need some extra help. Now, got one more page here. Old encyclopedias, because newer ones have facts that have been changed because they're not socially correct anymore. Oh, IT. IT counts. Or it counts. Yeah, IT counts. I like how that went. I was going to start writing down a bunch of stuff, but you guys are putting out so much. I mean, constantly writing here. I'm trying to think. There were the encyclopedias, and we had another set of books which weren't encyclopedias, but I can't remember what they were. They were my grandmother's, and unfortunately, my sister got them. And I don't know if she gave them to any of her kids or not, but her kids are all grown up with kids of their own. So yeah, but yeah, there are a lot of older how it's made books and how this work books and stuff type stuff that explain simple things like how does a fulcrum and lever work, how do pulleys work. There's some great okay, I was waiting for that one. Firefox books, yeah. So there are great books like that. Now there are some okay. Let's see. Oh, there I'm trying to go back and see if someone mentioned it here. I thought someone mentioned yes, Lolo and Prepper mentioned it back when she said I got older first aid books and leisure reading. There are some great leisure reading books that actually teach you how to do things. The first set of those I came across was Jerry Ahern's The Survivalist. And in his books, he talks about pew-pews and how they work, and then has his character teaching other characters when in reality he's teaching you how to do something. And I thought that was really cool. Yes, remember to leverage the knowledge when possible. Yes, I know, fulcrum and lever. Shoot, did I drop that in here? Oh, let me go ahead and drop that in. Okay, what years? Anything before 75. Because even in 75, they started changing stuff to make it, because it was disputed by wingnuts. And so, or they got on the boards and they started changing stuff. Well, that's not historically correct. We believe this was more correct. We have no evidence, but we believe this, so we're going to change the encyclopedia. Yeah, so older encyclopedias. I'm glad Bob's not in here. He'd be saying you're fired with that last one, CR. Tilt. Oh, no. Tilt in your favor. Yeah. Yeah. My wife likes reading historical novels and stuff. Too. I can't remember. She was reading a series of different series of historical novels there, though. She was reading a bunch. Oh, hey, well, in that case, talking novels, hang on. No, wrong one. This one. There we go. I might as well throw my novels up in there, which I picked up from Jerry Ahern. I try to make all my novels teaching as well. I know I wasn't. Let me go back to the very beginning here. Where was it here? Oh, another mention from the crew there. Phelan Clan Wolf just came in and said the Scout and the Ninja, and the Against the Wind ones. Yeah, they've got copies. They got free copies that they've been reading over for me and tell me what their generation thinks should be in them. Oh, language type books. Yeah, so you can English to French, French to English, English to Spanish, Spanish to English. Yeah, some of those might come in helpful. No online, exactly. No online translator. Yeah. I disagree with that. 1 second after came long after a huge amount of other books that actually started the prep. And of course, then it was called the Survivalist movement. But yeah, 1 second after is a more modern one compared to the ones from back, 40 years, 50 years ago. But yeah, I've heard good things about it. But yeah, yeah, they had green glass bottles and then they had green plastic bottles. Caitlin has German and Polish. Actually, I got the old records, the LP records for learning German that my mom had. And so rather than make me take Spanish in school, she let me listen to the learning to speak German at home. And then as soon as I got I promptly forgot how to speak German. Although kind of funny is one of the things I do remember from it is you park your car in the garage. In German, you park your car in the Garage. Yeah. Yeah. Well, really, the survival movement, they just rebranded when the mainstream media was saying that some of these ones that were doing suicide by cop were survivalists. No, they weren't survivalists because they didn't survive, and so that got changed from calling it survivalist to prepping because it was all the same thing. It was the exact same thing. Survivalists did canning. They did practice living off the land. They gardened. They did all that stuff. They learned how to hunt, animal husbandry, everything we've talked about here tonight. That was it. And that's the same thing that is being done in prepping. Ooh, military stuff time. Yes. The SAS guides, the old military field manuals for the United States as well. Yeah, just trying to say they can't depend on commercials anymore. Yeah. Let's see what other type of books and stuff here. Mm. Hang on, I gotta kill the green screen to show this one. There we go. Yeah, there's a bunch of ones like this which have great information in them. Ah, stop falling over. There we go. Back to that library. Let's see. Hang on a second. I'm going to grab something over here. Come on, you guys. There we go. Yeah, that has right in the rain paper in the back for making notes. Let me go back up here. Yeah. Sewing, bushcrafting, etc. Yep. Oh, you were so lucky. My mom's one that played 78s. One of my nieces and nephews, one of them was in there, was messing with it and broke the needle on it, and she couldn't find a replacement needle to play her old 78s. And my sister took them because I got the player. I could flip it over. It had the LP and 45 on it, but the 78 needle was broken. Yeah. Oh yes. I have some of the original American Survival Guide books and Guns and Ammo books, or magazines, I should say, in boxes. Yeah, my wife wanted me to throw them out. I go, So I brought them up here and I stashed them up here. But all right. I got a trail atlas for here. I have Thomas Brother books for all over California, since that's where I live for 99% of my life. I got to drop off the green screen for some of these. None. Okay. Survive by Les Stroud. Very good book. My teenage son, young teenage son, and he was in Boy Scouts, and yeah, he just went through it and just marked extra pages, map pages in here and stuff, and went through and just got bookmarks, cards in here marking pages that he thought were important for stuff. And what's neat about this one is the back 10 pages are blank for fire starter. Set this down here. Jerry Ahern put this one out. Let me put this up. Well, my copy here was from Cross Publications. All right, this was so I got the reprint in 2010, but he had it was out earlier than that, and I'm not sure because I had a bunch of his books and stuff, and from back before I got married in '88, and so yeah, it was '85 when I got got one of his novels there, and then this one here. You can still get this. They have updated ones you can get. And it's by James Townley Stevens, Making the Best of Basics. This is my copy. My mom had a copy. She gave it to my younger brother. So I got this one. It has reference pages in back in yellow and talks about also has a list of different things up in here, what they're for and everything else. But yeah, websites, phone numbers and stuff, because there are a lot more phone numbers than there are websites in here, because that's how old this is. All right, let's get back over here. Yes. Yeah. Libraries get told, oh, you need to get rid of that. So, yeah. For my grandson, Eli, because he's got autism, and sometimes the only way to calm him down is to have some DVDs for him of his favorite ones. When they had him in the hospital, keeping him in the hospital there till they could find a place to send him to get him analyzed for or evaluated for something to help out with him. I got a rechargeable DVD player for my daughter to take, because she had to stay there in the hospital with him while I was watching the kids while her husband was working. And so I got that so she could play there. And now it sits on his art table here in my house. So when he comes over and he's working on his art and stuff, he'll ask for a video, and I'll just pop it in there right in front of him, and he can watch the DVDs there. But yeah, movie night once a week would be nice. If there are, for some of us, it's going to be grandkids. For others, it's going to be kids. Are in the mix. It's going to be, you're going to want to play a movie or something, more often. Blank comment. Okay. On your Amazon wish list. Yes. Some have very good articles included every year, different articles included in the catalogs. It's got to be the Victrola. But yeah, they're old records and record players, for the 45s, the LPs, and the 78s. Finding one of those, a player for one of those is great. I have one that does 45s and LPs, but not 78s, that plugs into one of my computers, which has a program on it, so I can play a record and I can convert it into MP3 and Windows media files. And so I put quite a few records into that way there, especially the ones I was using for the haunted house. But yeah, that's I take and edit stuff out and do that stuff once it was in that type of thing. It's all terrible. Terrible because they were so used, or terrible because what they did to it, their interpretations. But yeah, there's a lot of the farther I get away from the screen, from the camera, the less my artifacting goes. Yeah, so look into you've had some great suggestions where to find them, some online sources, local thrift shops. Check them out. Check out the libraries. I'm just saying, if your library is talking about an expansion or upgrading books and stuff, that means they're going to be getting rid of older books. That's the time to go down there and start asking. Oh yeah, puzzle books. I'm gonna play a dangerous game here. Hang on a second, Daniel. Do you know where your little puzzle book is? That puzzle book for trains. Do you know where it is? Yeah. Go get it. Oh, pencils, erasers, sharpeners, stuff like that. Computer paper. I got cases of it for the grandkids. My wife just bought 2 cases of Walmart's spiral bound books that are for school sale. you can behave. And so you got two things in here of that. Okay, so I got to drop the green screen off here to show you this. None. Okay, so this is what a book he really likes, and it is.
Grandpa.
This is a puzzle.
Why the Wayne cricket back Wayne?
And so they can learn by matching the pieces. Then they can just take it out and without the book, put it together on the table. So, but he's got all sorts of different, and it's a story with it as well. And this page here is always puzzles.
Hey, why is that copying me?
Shh. Stop. All right, go put it back. There we go. It's not the button I want to push. That. There we go. Yep, that gets people thinking too. Keep the brain going. And crossword puzzles are relax. Some people find them very relaxing. My mom even got into the number one. The Japanese number one, where you Sudoku or something like that. Graph paper. Yep. Time for school. So there's, exactly. And school in a, situation where you're going to need all this stuff for the little ones, whether your kids, your grandkids, nieces, nephews, whatever. Yeah. Oh, butcher paper, white butcher paper rolls. My mom had a big one, and my wife, when my mom passed away, snagged it before the other relatives got in there and started, jumping the gun on who's supposed to get what. Because my wife grabbed it because she had seen the will and knew it was for our kids. So we still got it in here, and now my grandkids are using it. It's probably it was about this big to begin with, and now it's about that big around now. Butcher paper, just roll some out. Says there's a big coloring paper for you. All right. Let's see other things. Yeah. There are at the Boy Scout shop compass games to be used as part of the orienteering merit badge, but compass game, if you know how to use a compass, really use a compass, the compass games are really great, and they're two stages there. Learning how to do it and going out and doing sort of like a fox hunt using the compass. Cardstock, yes. Hang on here, right here in front here. Cardstock, index cards, that too. Oh. Yeah. Excellent. All right, here. Let me get this up over here quick. All right, coming up here for the next week. Thursday night is the midnight ride at 10 o'clock Eastern. On Camp Patton for Friday is what tractors slash lawn riding mower attachments do you need? Saturday, back here on Gray Man Prepping, is after the moon's orbit changes, what are your plans? And of course, last night, Mark fired off, Space 1999, for those that remember that TV show. Let's see, Monday on Camp Patton is canning pie filling. And then next Tuesday, the topic is, what is your dream specialty gear? Okay. And if you have any topic suggestions for Monday nights with Tammy and Mark and I covering food preservation, canning, whatever, please, at the bottom of the description is the email, Camp Patton Family Compound at gmail.com. Send me an email with topic suggestions for there. If you have topic suggestions for Tactical Tuesday or Survival Saturday, we'll take those as well. All right. Canned corn, yep. Pie filling, yep. All right, everyone. With that, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps. Water, food. Just lost it all. Water, food, medicine, clothing. Learn a new skill, and start planning your fall garden. I know it's hot summer, but start now to plan your fall garden. All right? Take care, and I will see you Thursday night for the midnight ride.